Chapter 73. Rejecting the younger brother, caught by the older brother. Why can he but not me? Just tell me what I did wrong. I can change everything. Ian's voice choked with emotion. He held her tightly in his arms. Ava, don't be with him. The young man's face buried in her neck, warm liquid falling on her shoulder. Ava took a deep breath and spoke seriously. You're wonderful. The Reed family's youngest son, loved by your parents with older siblings to shield you from wind and rain. Your life has no pressure. You can be yourself without restraint. But Ian… Ava paused, her voice gradually turning cold. You're too immature. Someone who needs family to shield them can't shield me. Being with you would exhaust me. I won't compromise myself for anyone, including my own parents. So don't do such thoughtless things again. Ava's words were like a bone-chilling blade stabbing deep into Ian's heart. He forced out words with difficulty. I can change. You can't. Ava's voice held no emotion. Ian's personality was flamboyant and unrestrained, bound by nothing. This alone showed how much his family doted on him. Even though his sister was sharp-tongued, her love for Ian was genuine. Ian was like a child spoiled by his family. His love was simple and straightforward. He'd give you everything he thought was good, regardless of whether you wanted it. When they dated, Ian had changed a lot for her, but only in front of her. Outside, Ian was still that carefree Reed family youngest son who didn't know his limits, the person who never had to consider consequences for his actions. Because his parents and older siblings cleaned up his messes. He liked her now, so he was willing to change for her. But with such an unrestrained nature, what about when the love faded? With his freedom-loving personality, would he have that sense of responsibility toward a family? Marriage. What Ava valued most was responsibility. Love couldn't last forever, but responsibility could guarantee her future marriage. Ava interrupted Ian. Even if you really could change, I have no obligation to help you grow up. Understand? In an instant, Ian seemed to lose all his strength. He released his arms from around Ava. Ian left the lounge dejected. Ava leaned against the door. If Ian were mature and steady like his older brother, she would consider marrying him. However, if Ian were mature and steady, he probably wouldn't like her in such a straightforward, simple way either. Miss Hart is truly heartless. A man's voice suddenly sounded in the lounge. Ava snapped back to attention. Samuel, hands in his pockets, pushed open the balcony door and entered the lounge. A faint awkwardness rose in Ava's heart. We've already broken up. Being ruthless is better for him, isn't it? Ava's lips curved into a smile. Don't tell me Mr. Reed thinks I should string your brother along instead? Isn't Miss Hart looking for a marriage alliance? Is the Reed family not good enough for you? Samuel deflected the question with one of his own. He was quite certain Ava wasn't someone who prioritized love. Otherwise, she wouldn't have left the country right after Adrian was in a wheelchair. With the Reed family's current status, a marriage alliance with the Hart family would be the Harts marrying up. If it were you, Mr. Reed, I might consider it. Ava tilted her head with a smile. However, I've never liked being too involved with people around my exes. Mr. Reed can rest assured. I have no improper thoughts about you. Ava turned and opened the door, leaving the lounge. A faint smile appeared on Samuel's lips. His brother's rejection was within his expectations. What impressed him was Ava's rationality. She looked like a delicate parasitic flower, but was actually a carnivorous plant. Where did you go? Adrian leaned against the car door, lazily watching Ava approach with her skirt in hand. Ava pointed behind her with the hand at her side, signaling Adrian to look behind her. Adrian looked up to see Grace in a red evening gown. I called Mr. Quinn to pick me up. Adrian, you should take Grace home. As Ava passed Adrian, he grabbed her hand. Since when did you learn to act first and report later? Ava knew Adrian was referring to her plan to spend the night at his place tonight. After Wesley's confession, she suddenly didn't want to go anymore, so she deliberately let Grace see when she came out. Adrian, Grace is waiting for you. Ava calmly pulled her hand from Adrian's grasp. As she withdrew it, her wrist ached faintly. Adrian's grip was too strong. She had the feeling he wanted to break her hand. By the time Grace reached Adrian, Ava was already walking toward where Mr. Quinn had parked. She got in the car. After it started, Adrian and Grace still stood outside without moving. Adrian, Are you in a bad mood? Grace probed cautiously. No. Adrian straightened up and opened the car door. Get in. The car drove through the bustling streets. Grace clasped her hands tightly, stealing glances at Adrian's profile. Adrian, why did you suddenly change brand ambassadors? Adrian, the previous one's contract expired, so we changed. Because Ava saved you? Adrian gave a faint, Grace's heart couldn't help but sour. She was the one who'd saved him, but Ava was the one who always enjoyed Adrian's favor. Adrian, if it had been someone else who saved you back then, would you treat her this well too? Adrian finally turned his head. He glanced at her and ultimately just nodded with an indifferent expression. The discomfort in Grace's heart gradually dissipated. She believed that one day Adrian would see her sincerity. She wanted to wait until he truly fell in love with her before telling him the truth. Steam filled the bathroom. A girl with a face mask lay in the bathtub. Her fair skin had turned pink from soaking in the warm water. That crisp click sound made Ava's eyes fly open. Adrian stood with his arms crossed in front of the vanity mirror, his gaze heavy as he looked at her. Most of her body was hidden beneath the bubbles, only her slender neck exposed. Adrian, what are you doing here? What mistress doesn't fulfill her duties? Adrian leaned casually against the vanity, looking at her with a half smile. Ava smiled sweetly. Grace is right next door. It wouldn't be good if she found out. If you keep your voice down, she won't find out. Ava choked. She didn't know who used to like it when she was loud. Ava, what's wrong with you today? Monica's voice came from outside. Ava's pupils constricted. There was really no place to hide someone in her bathroom. Come here, Ava spoke urgently to Adrian. If her mother discovered her in this state sharing a room with Adrian, wouldn't her secret seduction of Adrian be exposed? Why? Adrian crossed his legs, his expression saying, Give me a reason. Ava, answer me. Monica's voice came from outside the door. Ava's heart jumped to her throat.